So for all tech enthusiasts out there, Apple has announced its new product lineup. That's right, the new 15 series, and not to forget, Apple has launched the new Apple Watch 9 series as well. At the September 12th Apple event, Tim Cook announced 4 new iPhones and 2 new Apple Watches. That is Apple Watch 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra 2nd generation. But let's come to the big talk point, the Apple iPhone 15. Yes, that's right, the iPhone 15 now starts at Rs 79,900, while the 15 Plus starts at Rs 89,900. What's special? Well, the iPhone 15 and the 15 Plus gets you Dynamic Island that was just introduced last year. It was only available in the iPhone 14 Pro series, but now the 15 series gets it. And let's talk about the big show. That's the 15 Pro. The iPhone 15 Pro starts at Rs 1,34,900 for the 128GB version, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max, if you want to go all out, it starts at Rs 1,59,900 for the base model of 256GB variant. Now I am Devishi Sarkar and I will take you through all the details of the new products that was launched by Apple. Now first up, let's talk about the brand new iPhone 15 and the 15 Plus. What's so special? Well, the 15 and the 15 Plus is almost same in all aspects, apart from the fact that the 15 Plus has a bigger 6.7-inch screen and the 15 Plus has a bigger battery, and the battery health of the 15 Plus will most likely be better than the iPhone 15. But keeping that aside, how it is different from the iPhone 14 series? Well, from the back side, the iPhone 15 will look very similar to the iPhone 14, but turn the device to the front, the iPhone 15 will offer you Dynamic Island. Yes, this is the same Dynamic Island that was introduced with the iPhone 14 Pro series last year. The Dynamic Island is basically a pill-shaped notch that is expandable, and it totally depends on the app that you're using. You can get useful information, like for example, if you're using Swiggy, Zomato, you can get order updates. If you're using Uber, you can just check at a glance and see where your Uber cab has arrived and stuff like that. So the biggest USP of the 15 series, the 15 Plus and the 15, is the Dynamic Island. Now another big thing is USB Type-C. Yes, the iPhone 15 series finally gets USB Type-C that we have been using in Android devices for quite some time. So finally Apple devices or Apple users can get to carry just one charger and charge their MacBook, charge their iPad, charge their AirPods, and finally the iPhone. Yes, there is Type-C. And not to forget, there are other upgrades as well. You get a 48 megapixel camera, there is ceramic shield protection in the front like with any other iPhones, and there are new color options as well. But let's talk about the chipset. Both the iPhone 15 and the 15 Plus comes with last year's A16 Bionic chipset that was powering the iPhone 14 Pro series. And the newer chipset, the Apple A17 Pro chipset, is only reserved for the iPhone 15 Pro series. Now let's talk about the Pro variants. The new iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max comes in a new material, titanium. Of course, the devices will feel very premium in the hands, but in terms of design, the back of the device looks very similar to the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pro Max. And also, if you turn the device in the front, you get the same look thanks to the Dynamic Island. Of course, Apple is continuing to carrying the Dynamic Island from the iPhone 14 Pro series to the iPhone 15 Pro series, and the entire iPhone 15 range now has a Dynamic Island. But to get the major difference is there on the side of the iPhone 15 Pro series. Now, there is no silent or mute button that we're used to using in an iPhone. For the longest of the time, there is no silent or mute button on the iPhone 15 Pro. It has been replaced by something called an action button. Now with that button, you can just click on it to access the camera, to access the flashlight, to of course silent your smartphone and do other functions as well. Now another big talking point is the chipset. The new iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max comes with an A17 Pro Bionic chipset. Of course, it goes without saying that's the latest, greatest and the fastest from Apple. And of course, your games, your apps is going to load up pretty quickly, and Apple is promising to offer a new, faster gaming experience altogether. Now talking about the camera, Apple has improved that 48 megapixel camera in both the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. The portraits will come better, and of course you have more zoom this time. You have 5x optical zoom. Cameras have improved as well, and you can also expect the battery life of the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max to last longer. Also, not to forget, the iPhone 15 Pro range also gets the USB Type-C charging. So that's right, finally You don't have to worry about carrying the lightning cable altogether, and you can borrow a charger from any Android user as well. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has a base variant of 256GB. That's right. So if you're buying any iPhone 15 Pro Max, the minimum you're going to get is 256GB. For the iPhone 15 Pro, there is a 128GB variant as well. Now, to summarize the differences between the iPhone 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max, the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. Firstly, the iPhone 14 Pro series will no longer be available. Apple has officially stopped selling the iPhone 14 Pro. You may still be able to buy it on Amazon or Flipkart or wherever the stocks are lasting. But if you talk about the iPhone 15 Pro, Apple, at least on paper, there is some minor upgrades, and the overall experience of the camera, battery life, processing power will improve, and you will see a marked improvement as well in these fields. But in terms of looks, things are going to be pretty much the same. Of course, there is a new action button. Now, apart from the iPhone, let's shift to the Apple Watch. Yes, the Apple Watch Series 9 is over here. Again, there is not amount of huge change in it. There are a few software updates, but let's list out what is exactly new in the Apple Watch 9. Now, at a starting price of Rs 41,900, the new Apple Watch 9 series comes with a new S9 chipset. You get double gesture support as well. That's a cool feature. Apart from that, the display quality is slightly better. It's brighter. You get better battery life. The Bluetooth accuracy has increased. And there are other nifty features like, HomePod integration is there. On-device series also there. Overall, just small improvements when compared to the Apple Watch 8. Now, talking about the Apple Watch Ultra, Apple has taken the Watch Ultra 2 to the next level altogether. At a price of Rs 89,900, you of course get a new chipset, the S9 chipset. You can dive wearing the Apple Watch Ultra 2 to 40 meters. You can climb up to 9,000 meters. You get 36 hours of battery life. The action button is customizable, and you get new watch features as well. So in this September event, Apple has launched 4 new iPhones and 2 new Apple Watches. This is Devishi Sarkar signing off for News 18.